The following is a paid program, and the views expressed on this show do not represent the views of WJZ-FM, Entercom Communications, its sponsors, or affiliates.
The following is a pre-recorded show. Welcome to Winning in Retirement with your host, Brian Akers, certified financial planner professional and founder of Akers Financial Group. Now, helping you win in your retirement, here's Brian Akers.
Hello, I'm Brian Akers. I have with me today Jeff Akers. We're here with Winning in Retirement from Akers Financial Group. There's Akers everywhere. We are certified financial planner professionals. I've been in financial services industry 30 years, and here with me today is Jeff Akers. This is his 20th year. Jeff, how are you feeling?
20 years working with my cousin. How do you think I'm feeling?
Oh, my goodness. I thought this would go well here, Jeff. I've been trying to be nice to you, but being the cousin, you were like my little brother. It was always fun playing baseball one-on-one in the backyard. But what we got to do today is play a little one-on-one financial planning. The show is called Winning in Retirement. What we want you to do today is to sit back and listen, because we're assuming most likely you're not out and about. But if you are out in the car, don't sit back and listen. Sit forward, drive, be alert. But listen to this show, Winning in Retirement. Our goal today is to cover the following topic: what you must do now to create tax-free income for you and your family. What you must do now to create tax-free income for you and your family. That's our topic today. We're going to cover a lot of things. This first segment is really about what's going on and about taxes and about investing and some ideas like that. What do you think about all those subjects, Jeff?
Well, there certainly is a lot going on right now. Taxes, you've probably heard a lot about that because of some of the changes they did with the CARES Act and everything. And then everybody's curious about what's happening with the market and where the economy is going to go. So there's a lot to get into.
Absolutely. Now, tax rates are what we believe are the lowest they have been in, as far as we can think back. But we also think it's going to be the lowest taxes that we're going to face between now and the rest of our lives. The tax brackets right now, normally what the tax brackets do is they gradually increase as you make more and more money. One of the things that we have for clients is a simple pocket table on taxes and tax brackets. Do you know, Jeff, that a married filing jointly, if they make less than at $80,250 for this year, $80,250, they make less than that for taxable income, they actually only pay 12% is the federal bracket.
Right, that's their tax bracket. The funny thing is, though, the current tax laws that we have, Brian mentioned that they're at historic lows. Well, the current tax law is scheduled to sunset in the year 2026. So this 12% tax bracket is actually going to go up under current law in 2026 to become the 15% tax bracket. So we already know that's coming. It could be that it changes between now and then. Congress has plenty of time to do different things with it. But the odds seem like that it's going to go up in the next couple of years.
The tax brackets, they are like steps. So as you make your first money, the first money you make, what you'll find is that you go from 0 to a 10% bracket, and then you start peeping above standard deductions, and that's when you start paying tax at all. Many people are surprised at their first full-time job that they actually take taxes out. And instead of getting paid $1, they're getting paid 90 cents, and then they come home and complain about that first paycheck and how the government and everybody else took all that money. Social Security, 7.65% is coming out, and they feel like it's just not fair. Then the parents usually give the advice to the kid, and they say, wait till you get older, and all of a sudden, instead of a 10% bracket, you're at 12. Now, the bracket that goes right above 12 is 22%. So the difference between 12 and 22 is a 10% difference. It's almost a doubling of taxes. So when we talk about brackets in our talk today, we think it's a big deal to know where you sit on your taxes. Are you in the 12% bracket, 22, or are you in the higher brackets? There are brackets that go from 24, 32, 35, and 37 is the country's highest bracket. And that is for joint income above $622,000. It's also for individual income above $518,000. So knowing your brackets are very important when it comes to when do you pay tax, is your tax reasonable, is it the right thing for you to do now into the future. Hey, Jeff, what's the cheapest tax out there?
Well, the cheapest tax would be zero if you didn't pay any tax.
I did a trick question on you. Sorry, I'm here stuttering all over myself because I'm sort of laughing as I'm making up my talk here. So the cheapest tax to pay is capital gains tax. So if you have a stock and it goes up, or a dividend, it comes through as capital gains tax. Now, some of that can be zero under certain brackets, and then it moves up to 15 to 20% at the highest. That is considered the cheapest tax if you had to pick your taxation. Now, what we're trying to talk about today is tax-free income. Tax-free income is where when you take a withdrawal out of an investment or out of a life insurance policy, you can actually create tax-free income.
So the capital gains, 0% for the lowest, and then the tax brackets, as Brian was describing, jumping up. Now I'm the one stuttering all over myself, but as we meet with folks, one of the first things that we want to do is get a handle on what is your taxable income. Are you close to one of those dividing lines between the 12% bracket and the 22% bracket? If you're in the 22 and you're really close, is there something we can do to actually reduce your taxable income so that you're in that lower bracket? And if there's room, if you're in the 12% bracket and there's some room between there and the 22% bracket, does that give us some opportunities to do some things to help you in the future? So taxes and brackets and knowing where those breakpoints are all really important, and we want to get a handle on them right away.
So the market, the stock market, really does affect decisions also, because there's an idea when the market's very volatile and really moving up and down that you need to consider. And that's what our show is about today. And that is, as the stock market has pulled back in March, it went down 35, 38%. April had one of the biggest stock market recoveries in known history. It made about 35% for the month. And so, Jeff, we went down 35 and up 35. Everything should be all break even by now, right, Jeff?
You would think so, but if you actually look at your account values, or if you look at the Dow Jones or S&P 500, you'll see that they're not all the way back where they were. And that has to do with the idea that big losses are hard to make up. And I guess an extreme example would be if you lost 50% in an investment. So let's say you had $2 and you lost $1. Well, now you've got that $1 and you want to get back to $2. Well, what's the return that you're going to need in order to get back to $2? Well, if you only have $1, you need a 100% return just to get back to break even. So in this case, going down 35% and going up 35% doesn't get you to break even. We need to go higher from that low point just in order to get back to where you started before this downturn in the market came.
All right, so when we actually look at investments and look at buying opportunities and we look at financial planning opportunities, we look for individuals that are having a lower year for income. So this year, because of everything going on, people are going to make less money. So that means they'll end up paying less tax. This might be a good year to basically reconsider or even consider for your family the idea of paying tax on retirement money now and then converting it, called a Roth conversion, over to a Roth IRA. Now that conversion, we're going to cover that during this show, is going to be taxable in the year we do this, but we pay the tax once and then that money would move over and it would grow tax-free to our future. The second piece of the reason to consider it right now is the fact that we will be basically moving stock investments at a downturn and move them over to the Roth side, where then the Roth, the comeback over the next few years, would actually be growing back tax-free. So there's two good reasons to consider a concept called Roth conversions this year.
So right now we have a kind of a unique opportunity with regard to tax rates being low and the market going down, and that creates some opportunities. And we'll get into how those opportunities work coming up here in a little bit. Roth IRAs, you can also contribute to your Roth IRA, And one of those tax law changes that we mentioned earlier is that you actually have until July 15th this year to make a contribution for 2019. So we have an extra opportunity to go ahead and make that Roth contribution for 2019 right now. So that's something that you might want to consider and think about.
Right, so our taxes for federal and for Maryland are due July 15th. That means our contributions for small business retirement plans, a lot of these contribution timetables are all tied to July 15th. Gives us more time to find the money to do things like that. Maybe you are currently in a reaction mode, defensive in every way. It's like you're sitting on the sofa and you keep moving back and back and back, reacting. Reacting has the energy of being defensive. Creating, now you sit up, you sit forward, you have the forward-moving energy of creating. The people who will get through this in the best shape are the ones who take this opportunity and this time to be in the creating mode, in the solution mode. It's a choice. We want you to win in your retirement by taking this opportunity to begin planning with us at Acres Financial Group. To schedule your free meeting, call us at 833-WIN-RETIRE. That's 833-WIN-RETIRE. When you call, you can leave us a voice message, and Susan will call you back on Monday to schedule an appointment with one of our team of advisors. Start planning for your retirement now. Call 833-946-7384. That's 833-946-7384, or visit acresfinancial.com. Now, David Lee Roth might not be your favorite Roth. We'll explain when we come back.
Hi, this is Jesse Cunningham, the owner of Mountain View Insurance, and we are proud to be affiliated with Acres Financial Group. We, too, base our business on integrity, service, and acknowledge that every client's insurance needs are unique to their own situation. At Mountain View Insurance, we specialize in car insurance, home insurance, and umbrella coverages, all designed to protect your assets that you've worked so hard to earn. When serving our clients, we focus on creating a protection plan that is appropriate to your needs. After we determine the correct plan, we then go to shop for you. Mountain View Insurance is an independent insurance brokerage, and that means we have access to many top national and regional insurance carriers. Let us build an appropriate and affordable insurance plan for you, and give us a call directly at 410-262-3176. Once again, that's 410-262-3176. This is Jesse Cunningham, owner of Mountain View Insurance, and I look forward to hearing from you.
You are unique. Just as no two fingerprints are alike, each individual's financial situation is uniquely their own. That's why the Acres Financial Group's team of advisors begins each relationship with a proven process that identifies your financial fingerprint. We'll guide you through a series of steps designed to provide a complete and accurate snapshot of where you are right now. Everything we learn about your financial fingerprint will become part of a detailed financial plan created especially for you. We'll never give you a cookie-cutter proposal or suggest a one-size-fits-all portfolio. The financial plan takes you from where you are now to where you need to be. Begin by discovering your financial fingerprint right now by going to getmyfinancialfingerprint.com. That's getmyfinancialfingerprint.com.
Member FINRA SIPC.
Imagine you're retired. You wake up in the morning and you don't even know what day it is. Every day seems like a Saturday. You can sleep in, cook a nice full breakfast without thinking about morning traffic or work deadlines. The Saturday calmness you used to crave is now your everyday feeling. You're not worried about your retirement income or how your investments are doing. Your biggest decision that day is where you're going to drink that first cup of coffee. Is that the kind of retirement you want? If it is, then sit down and talk with the team at Acres Financial Group. They want to help you get there. They've been helping families in Maryland plan for retirement for over 30 years. Call to schedule your complimentary meeting at 833-WIN-RETIRE. The number again is 833-WIN-RETIRE. Start planning for your retirement now. Call 833-946-7384. Member FINRA SIPC.
You're listening to a pre-recorded show. Welcome back to Winning in Retirement. Call 833-WIN-RETIRE now to schedule a visit with Brian and his team and begin winning in retirement. Once again, here's Brian Akers.
Welcome back to Winning in Retirement. I'm Brian Akers. Here with me today is Jeff Akers, Certified Financial Planner Professional from Akers Financial Group. How you doing today, Jeff?
I'm doing all right. Good to see you again.
Cool. Absolutely. Now, as we were leaving, I said the following. I said, David Lee Roth might not be your favorite Roth. What do you think of that, Jeff? Who is your favorite Roth?
Oh, goodness. Who is my favorite Roth? I mean, I do remember David Lee Roth, but I'm not much of a music guy. I know he was a music guy, rock and roll, all that good stuff, and there's probably some of his songs that if you played, I'd say, oh, yeah, I like that. But there really is another Roth out there that I like. He was a senator. I think he was from Delaware, maybe, but you probably already know that. His name was Al Roth, and he's kind of the guy that they named the Roth IRA after.
Absolutely, Big Al. We like Al.
Yeah, Big Al. Yeah, so they named the idea of the Roth IRA after him. It was an idea that he came up with and got together the legislation and passed that in the late 90s. And it gives us an opportunity in a Roth IRA to put money into a retirement account after taxes. And then when you retire and you take that money out, it comes out tax-free. So it's a way to generate some tax-free income in retirement. So that's why I like Al Roth, because I like tax-free.
You know, I met someone this week, the last name Roth. And so I just asked him the question. I said, who's your most famous Roth that you've ever met? Or no? And he goes, oh, David Lee Roth. I said, that's the most famous Roth? He goes, yeah, that's the most famous Roth. I said, how about Al? He goes, who's Al? And I said, everyone needs to know Al Roth. So during President Clinton, he was the president, and we had the Republican Congress. They actually balanced the budget back in 97. I think it was 97, 98. I think were the two budget years that were actually balanced. And what they did was they said, how can we get money into our coffers now? What can we do to get money? And what they did was this, a Roth IRA. Pay tax now, and then we'll put into a Roth IRA, and the money will grow tax-free. As you take it out for qualified withdrawals, will be tax-free. Jeff, what are some examples of qualified withdrawals?
So a qualified withdrawal would be when you're over age 59 and a half. That would be one thing. Another one would be that you have had that Roth IRA for at least 5 years. You want to have it for at least 5 years before you start taking money out. It's not a qualified withdrawal, but the money that you put into it, you are actually allowed to take back out even before you're 59 and a half. You can do that with contributions because you've already paid tax on it, so you don't have to worry about paying a penalty or tax on that again. So that's not a qualified withdrawal necessarily, but that is a way to take some money out of a Roth IRA and not be penalized.
Exactly right. There's all these things about a Roth IRA. So what we want to do is have that money in. The easiest way to put money into a Roth is that if you make below certain levels of income, you're allowed to actually contribute to a Roth. That contribution limit is divided between people under 50 and people over 50. For the year 2019, the limit was at $6,000 and $7,000. Is that correct, Jeff?
Yes, $6,000 if you're under age 50 and $7,000 because you get that $1,000 catch-up contribution if you're 50 or older. So now both of us are allowed to do $7,000.
You have to bring up age. Now, the crazy thing, Jeff, is I thought about it. I have 30 years in financial services. You have 20. Even our experience is over 50.
Yikes. That's scary.
Yeah. But that's okay. We still remember things, so that's the key ingredient there. So the Roth IRA, we believe, is something that you must look at right now. We believe that you need to do a lot of other things right now to create tax-free income for you and your family. This year, 2020, might be the right year for you to look at Roth IRAs. Now, we are going to bring up a topic called Roth conversion, not Roth contribution. Roth conversion, in simple terms, is where you have money in an IRA or a retirement account that was always done pre-tax. That means through your work, or you took a deduction off your tax return. It was put in pre-tax, you got a deduction, it saved you current year taxes. What we're saying to consider is this, is if we can take money from that IRA or retirement account and bring it out to a Roth IRA, that transfer of money will be taxable to you on your actual tax return as ordinary income. By paying tax up to certain levels and withdrawing a certain amount that's fully calculated based on your situation, we can actually shift money over to the Roth IRA, where then that stock investment, as it comes up over the next few years, you'll see that growth to be tax-free.
Yeah, so right now there's the market downturn, plus taxes are at historic low rates, low brackets, so we can convert more of our Roth IRA, not in dollar amounts, but maybe in shares. Brian mentioned a stock. If you own a stock and it was worth $10,000 and now it's worth $7,000. Well, if you convert it now, you pay tax on $7,000 at current tax rates, which are low, and then when it comes back up inside the Roth IRA, and let's say it only goes back to $10,000, well, that $3,000 of growth is totally tax-free because it's inside a Roth IRA. So we like that scenario for right now. That's an opportunity that this environment that we're in right now has created for us. I did want to mention one other thing that comes up with conversions, and something Brian said earlier. In order to contribute to a Roth IRA, you have to be below certain income levels. Well, if you're over those income levels, then you can contribute to something called a non-deductible traditional IRA, and so you don't get a deduction for that contribution. Now, as long as certain conditions are met, and this is a case-by-case situation, but as long as certain conditions are met, we can then convert that contribution to a Roth IRA. So we can use a Roth conversion in order to get money into a Roth IRA for folks who earn too much money to contribute directly. And as long as you don't have any other traditional IRAs that are pre-taxed, then we can do that without paying tax on that conversion. We call that a backdoor Roth IRA contribution. And so that's something that if you earn a lot of money, there might still be some ways to get money into a Roth IRA. So it's worth looking at and investigating your situation.
Yeah, the backdoor Roth is a very sophisticated idea. It takes implementation through your tax return. But the basic thing is this. If you want to do anything with a Roth, we believe we can figure out a way to do it for you and your family. Now, the decisions you and your family need to make is this. Is it worth paying tax now and then possibly never again in most cases? So some of the options you have with a Roth conversion is this. We believe that if you're going to convert money from an IRA to a Roth, you need to have the cash to pay the taxes. So an example is that if you're in a 12% bracket, 7.5% Maryland, that's around 20%. So if you want to move something like $10,000 from a Roth from IRA to your Roth, you'll end up basically needing about $2,000 for taxes in cash because you want to move the whole $10,000 from the IRA to the Roth. Now that means if you want to do $100,000, we've actually shifted that over, cost you $20,000, and then there was $1 million Roth conversion that we did a few years ago. That combination was over $200,000 in taxes, but that became a very good thing down the road. Roth conversions also lead to many great things for you and your family. A Roth conversion is where you pay the tax. Perhaps this Roth IRA is something you want to give to your kids when you pass away. Under current laws, the Secure Act especially, you're going to have to pay taxes, your heirs will, over a 10-year period on any pre-tax money. If it's a Roth IRA, they also get to pull it out over a 10-year period, but it's entirely tax-free to your heirs. So this investment, the idea is having it as a Roth is creating tax-free income for you and for whoever receives this money over time.
And one of the things that comes up with folks is you've got a husband and wife, and your tax bracket is going to be based on are you single versus are you married filing jointly. Well, when you become single, the income limits are lower to go to higher brackets. And so whatever the tax rate is for you and your spouse, it's going to be different when one of you passes away. The survivor, their taxes will actually be higher. So a Roth IRA is a way to get money into tax-free while you're both still living and at those lower brackets.
So this process of going from an IRA to a Roth, it cannot be done inside of your qualified retirement plan. You can't move your pre-tax to post-tax inside that plan. Now, through work, you can contribute to a Roth 401k or a Roth TSP rather than a pre-tax, and we're going to talk about that more and more as we keep going. But the idea here when it comes to Roth converting is from IRA to Roth. You have to pay tax in the year you do it. One of the best things about a Roth conversion is that this money is going to be set aside. Now, when we set aside, and one of the things we love is we journal, like a stock fund from the IRA, we journal it, meaning we transfer in kind over to your Roth, and then that same fund that might be down 15 to 20% right now will then come back over the next few years in a tax-free vehicle, helping you and your family have that tax-free whenever you want to draw it out over time. So Roth IRAs are something that you need to look at and consider for you and your family. Roth conversion, it could be the right time to create tax-free income for you and your family. Give us a call at 833-WIN-RETIRE. That's 833-WIN-RETIRE. That's 833-946-7384. You give us a call and you leave a message, and Susan or someone else will give you a call during the week to set up a meeting with one of our team of advisors. Jeff, when does $1 on your statement equal 70 cents in your pocket? That answer and more, Winning in Retirement, after the break.
Long before 18-year-old Brooks Robinson was signed to play third base, and years before Natty Boh began brewing at the corner of Conkling and O'Donnell Streets, Baltimore families relied on the Evans family and the Evans Funeral Chapel and Cremation Services to help them during some of their most important family moments. Hi, I'm Charlie Evans, and for 4 generations, my family and I have been there for families, providing care and compassion in their time of need. Evans Funeral Chapel and Cremation Services provides the best facility, staff, and personalized service for your family. We have 3 convenient locations to serve the community: Parkville, Forest Hill, and Hereford. For more information, visit us online at evansfuneralchapel.com or call 410-665-9444. Evans Funeral Chapel and Cremation Services, serving Baltimore families since 1865. I invite your confidence.
Acres Financial Group was founded on the principles of integrity, trust, and service. We believe each and every client is unique and deserves advice and implementations that apply directly towards their personal financial fingerprint. This financial fingerprint tells us the objective risk tolerance and purpose of the investment and insurance tools that we use to assist our clients in reaching their goals. By discovering the purpose of each financial decision, we can help you accomplish your goals. Intelligent financial design starts with a detailed balance sheet and cash flow to know where to start. This leads to a financial decision that will allow you to reach your goals with your risk tolerance in mind. Our relationships begin with an initial consultation and grows with each meeting. We would be thrilled to work with you and begin your planning process. Call us at 833-WIN-RETIRE. That's 833-946-7384. Or visit our website at acresfinancial.com. Member FINRA SIPC.
Are there times in some games you wish you could just turn on the TV at the 2-minute warning? Because that's the most important part of the game, right? As a fan, these are the most exciting moments. Your team could take home the victory or crumble under pressure. But when it comes to your retirement, don't wait until the last 2 minutes. So much can happen in the final working years before retirement. Whether you're in your 50s or 60s, near or already in retirement, there's still time to put a plan in place. Don't wait until right before you retire to begin planning for your future. Can you win the retirement game like that? Come in and talk with the team at Acres Financial Group. They've been helping families in Maryland plan for retirement for over 30 years. Call to schedule your complimentary meeting at 833-WIN-RETIRE. The number again is 833-WIN-RETIRE. Start planning for your retirement now. Call 833-946-7384. Member FINRA SIPC.
You're listening to a pre-recorded show. Welcome back to Winning in Retirement. Call 833-WIN-RETIRE now to schedule a visit with Brian and his team and begin winning in retirement. Brian Akers of Akers Financial Group is a registered representative offering securities through Kalos Capital Incorporated and investment advisory services through Kalos Management Incorporated. Akers Financial Group is not an affiliate or subsidiary of Kalos Capital or Kalos Management and does not provide tax and legal services. Advice given on winning in retirement is general in nature, and one should seek further advice from their financial advisor, broker, attorney, or tax accountant before investing. Be sure to read each prospectus carefully to understand all the risks associated with each investment. Once again, here's Brian Akers.
Welcome to Winning in Retirement. I'm Brian Akers. Here with me today is Jeff Akers. Good morning, Jeff.
Good morning again, Brian.
Yeah, it's fun doing a radio show where this is the beginning of the second half of our show. It's the third quarter. In the third quarter, we try to review a little bit what we've done, but we want to talk about this main topic is what you must do now to create tax-free income for you and your family. What you must do now and why the timing might be right. So what we want to do is, first of all, is answer the question that I have, and that question is this, Jeff. When does $1 on your statement equal 70 cents in your pocket?
Man, that's a tough one. And you kind of, I don't know, you think I've got $1, I should have $1. But I heard someone say that we have a partner, if you will, on our retirement accounts. The pre-tax money, you think of your 401k and your IRA. If you want that $1 out, you have to pay tax on it to get it. And so that's how you could take $1 out, but you're only going to get 70 cents because the other 30 cents is going to go to the federal government, the state government, whatever taxing authority there is. So it depends on your tax bracket. It could be a little bit more or a little bit less than 70 cents, but you're not going to end up with that whole $1. It's kind of like the teenager with their first job. You know, they get that first paycheck and they're like, what happened to all my money? Why didn't I get all of it? And it's because there are taxes involved when you work, and there's taxes involved when you take money out of a tax-deferred, like an IRA or 401k, a tax-deferred account.
Right, so what happens in investments is you see $1 million IRA, and you say, oh, wow, that's $1 million. 4% off of that is $40,000 a year. That's awesome. I'll take that $40,000 a year. And then we're like, oh, hey, wait a second. That $40,000, you don't get all $40,000. What happens is there's 22% federal, and then there's 7.5% state and local tax, which is right around 30%. And so what's the math on that, Jeff? If you're going to take $40,000 out, what's the after tax bring home pay? Can you do a major calculation for us on that and try to explain what the bring home pay would be?
So let's say you take $40,000 and you're going to take 30% off of it. And yep. I do math kind of slow. I'm not in this new math kind of thing. So if you took 10%, that would be $4,000, and you're doing that 3 times. So 3 times $4,000 is $12,000 off, and you're going to end up with $28,000 out of that $40,000.
Right, and then so if you have $28,000 net after tax, and then what is that going to be for monthly income? That's okay, Jeff.
Oh gosh, now you want to take that by 12.
Yeah, you take it by 12. It's $2,333 a month bring home pay. And so what you got to do when it comes to building your retirement plan, when you're looking to that future and you say, well, if I save $1 million, what does it really mean on my cash flow and in my pocket? And there's a joint partner. That's taxes in the future. Now, what we've been told over the years is this. Put your money into a retirement account. You get a deduction now, and then it'll grow all tax deferred. It'll grow bigger and bigger. My concept is this. Do you want to pay tax on the contribution or pay tax on the whole amount it grows over time? Now, imagine you put $2,000 into an IRA versus pulling it out. Which pile is bigger? Which one do you want to pay tax on? Do you like paying tax on money, the bigger pile or a smaller pile, Jeff?
I would much rather pay tax on the smaller pile of money. The other thing that you hear about is you're going to be in a lower tax bracket in retirement. Well, the only way to be in a lower tax bracket is to make less money. And so that means that your standard of living is going to change, conceivably. We're also in a situation where tax rates are likely to go up. So you could be in a lower bracket, but that rate on it is actually higher than what you're currently paying. So if I can pay tax on a smaller stack of money at a lower rate, I'd much rather do that than pay tax on a bigger stack of money at a higher rate. So I'll take the lower stack of money for taxes.
All right, and that's for the win, Jeff. I think that's a great decision you made on that. And that is where everyone needs to consider, should I go ahead and pay tax now and do a Roth 401k, Roth 4 TSP, or just a Roth contribution? Now, today's topic's been about moving to Roth conversion, and one of their prime targets of people who should consider this are those that retire, and then when they retire, they're not at 72 years of age or older yet. They're, let's say, between 62 and 72. They're retired. They're actually paying less tax than they were when they were working, and they're in this level, this age of time where they actually can basically withdraw some money out of the IRA, shift it to Roth, pay the tax now, and still stay in a lower bracket. Understanding your tax bracket, understanding how much money you have in IRA, and the long-term effect of taxes on retirement. $1 million in a Roth IRA, that's a large sum of money. That $1 million, if it's at 4% withdrawal, that $4,000 comes out. That's a lot more money than $40,000 comes out. A lot more money than $40,000 pre-tax, and all of a sudden you only get $28,000. We're highly recommending that you look at your future not only with investing and taxes, but you've got to look at your cash flow. Most people, under the scenario that we've been doing since the early 80s, instead of having pensions at their work, they've had defined contribution plans where they set aside money, they save money, all pre-tax, it grows, and then all of their money's in one bucket, one big basket. And that is all about this growth that they've had, but then it's their only source of funds later. And that's when they want to pull $1 out, they get 70 cents. We're recommending that you have multiple buckets of money for when you retire, that you consider having Roth IRA, your retirement money, and personal savings. So, Jeff, have you done this for any of your clients recently during that golden age between 62 and 72?
Well, actually, I did it for someone where one spouse is in the golden age, the other spouse is actually older, but they had a particular stock in a traditional IRA that had come down a lot, like 2/3. This is how far down it was. And so we took a look at, well, what if we convert that? If you really think that's going to come back, that stock's still a good stock. If that's going to come back, let's convert it while we're only paying tax on 1/3 of it and at lower rates. And then this year, the older spouse, he would have had to take a required distribution, but this year that's been waived. So there's no required distribution. So we can do this instead from his IRA, convert it, and then as it grows back to where it was before, it'll be tax-free. And in this particular case, we looked at, he's quite a bit older than his spouse, so if he passes away, she would have to pay tax on that traditional IRA money at a single tax rate versus right now it's a joint tax rate. And so the bracket was going to be about 10 or 12% higher, and that's if the brackets didn't change in 2026. So if they do, it could be even higher than that for her. So we did a Roth conversion for a particular stock that was down, paid the tax now. He had the cash to do that, and now that's going to be tax-free for him or for his wife or for his kids if they both pass away on to the future. So that's one example that we've looked at over this past, couple of months.
Absolutely. March, we saw the market dropping dramatically. And when people would say, well, should I sell stocks? We're like, no, won't you consider Roth conversions and shift that money over? As they've changed some of the tax laws for 2020, and they said RMD, the required minimum distribution, they said that you don't have to take one out for this year. So our clients over 70 years old, we're actually, instead of doing RMD withdrawals, we're doing conversions, Roth conversions, instead of an RMD. So go ahead and pull out the RMD amount and shift it to a Roth, and that sets some money aside for tax-free. You pay tax now. What we're trying to do with this basic concept is levelize your income. Levelizing your income means it'll levelize your taxes. Now, that is one idea if we believe that tax rates are going to actually stay the same. There's a lot of arguments saying that higher taxes are coming. We know in 2026 that taxes will be higher, but we also believe that when the federal government supports business and local governments and unemployment, all kinds of money being given out at this time, that great debt will come back to haunt us with higher tax rates in the future.
Yeah, so if you're thinking about taxes and you're under 72, then you're not having to take required distributions right now. But be aware that when you turn 72, there will be required distributions, and that's going to increase your taxable income and could bump you into a higher tax bracket when there are higher tax rates.
Imagine that complete freedom. You can visit your family. Now, that complete freedom, we really don't know right now in the current situation we're in with being sheltered in place. In financial planning, we want our clients to have freedom, to have the financial freedom to do things they want to do. That's having the money and the savings and the cash flow to reach your own goals. What winning in retirement looks like is where you get to choose what you do. At Acres Financial Group, we tailor a unique financial plan to take you from where you are now to where you need to be. To begin winning in retirement, you can call Acres Financial Group to schedule your free visit. That visit is virtual on Zoom or other video vehicles, or on a regular phone call. You call us at 833-WIN-RETIRE. That's 833-WIN-RETIRE. When you call, you can leave us a voice message, and we'll get back to you next week. Start planning your retirement now by calling 833-946-7384 or go to acresfinancial.com. Hey, Jeff, there's one thing that is unique to you that you must do now if you want to win in retirement. We'll share that with you after this short break. Acres Financial Group was founded on the principles of integrity, trust, and service. We believe each and every client is unique and deserves advice and implementations that apply directly towards their personal financial fingerprint. This financial fingerprint tells us the objective risk tolerance and purpose of the investment and insurance tools that we use to assist our clients in reaching their goals. By discovering the purpose of each financial decision, we can help you accomplish your goals. Intelligent financial design starts with a detailed balance sheet and cash flow to know where to start. This leads to a financial decision that will allow you to reach your goals with your risk tolerance in mind. Our relationships begin with an initial consultation and grows with each meeting. We would be thrilled to work with you and begin your planning process. Call us at 833-WIN-RETIRE. That's 833-946-7384. Or visit our website at acresfinancial.com. Member FINRA SIPC.
The choice of your child's school is vitally important. Wouldn't you go a few more miles for something really special? I'm Brian Wilson, principal of Harford Christian School. Harford Christian is an independent school in northern Harford County, serving students in preschool through 12th grade. Our Uncommon Core makes all the difference. For nearly 50 years, we've partnered with parents in the important responsibility of training children in God's truth. Our biblical worldview stands in stark contrast against today's culture. At HCS, political correctness is never prioritized above God's unchanging truth. We hold the bar high as we prepare students to serve God's kingdom, not just the workplace of man. Affordable tuition and transportation options put the choice of Christian education within your reach.
Come visit the longest established Christian school in Harford County. You can become acquainted with us through a private tour or on the web at harfordchristian.org.
You are unique. Just as no two fingerprints are alike, each individual's financial situation is uniquely their own. That's why the Acres Financial Group's team of advisors begins each relationship with a proven process that identifies your financial fingerprint. We'll guide you through a series of steps designed to provide a complete and accurate snapshot of where you are right now. Everything we learn about your financial fingerprint will become part of a detailed financial plan created especially for you. We'll never give you a cookie-cutter proposal or suggest a one-size-fits-all portfolio. The financial plan takes you from where you are now to where you need to be. Begin by discovering your financial fingerprint right now by going to getmyfinancialfingerprint.com. That's getmyfinancialfingerprint.com.
Member FINRA SIPC. You're listening to a pre-recorded show. Welcome back to Winning in Retirement. Call 833-WIN-RETIRE now to schedule a visit with Brian and his team and begin winning in retirement. Once again, here's Brian Akers.
Welcome back to Winning in Retirement. I'm Brian Akers. Here with me today is Jeff Akers. We are experienced, certified financial planner professionals. Today we've been talking about the tax-free income and how to create tax-free income and what you must do now to make this tax-free income for you and your family. Now, if you haven't been listening to our radio show since 11 a.m., what you can do is go to our website at acresfinancial.com. Up top on the website, there's an area there that says radio. You click that, you go into the Winning in Retirement radio spot, and you'll see a history of all of our shows in the past. You'll see the topics listed. You can listen to that, and any and all questions you have, you can give us a call at our office at 833-WIN-RETIRE or contact us straight through that website at acresfinancial.com. Now, Jeff, today's topic has been what you must do now to create tax-free income for you and your family. What are your thoughts?
Well, the main thing that we've kind of looked at is Roth IRAs. Something that we haven't talked about yet today is the possible use of life insurance. Life insurance used to be a popular way of getting tax-free income in retirement. But once the Roth IRA came around, life insurance became a less prominent vehicle to do that. So it fits in certain circumstances. It's not necessarily widespread in its usefulness, but it can fit certain situations. So it's something that we want to mention that is out there, but we'd have to look at your specific situation, which gets back to what's that one unique thing that's unique to you that you have to do now in order to win in retirement. And part of that is just knowing your situation. We call it your financial fingerprint. So we need to know about you. Things like, what's your taxable income? That tells us what your tax bracket is. What are your goals for the future? What is it that you want? What kind of income are you going to need to meet those goals? And then we need to look at what you have. And then we can figure out how to get from where you are to where you want to go and do it in a smart way when it comes to your taxes. And having some tax-free income is usually going to be a smart thing to do.
So discovering your financial fingerprint is really what we do in every initial conversation with our new clients. You can go to acresfinancial.com and you'll see a tab say Documents. Under Documents, what you'll find is this, that the document listing underneath there is Discovering Your Financial Fingerprint and Identifying Your Financial Fingerprint. These are two things that we have on the website, a list of items to get together, and then a questionnaire on things to think about, things to work through in your own financial discovery. And so you can begin to have a unique financial plan written just for you. And that's what Acres Financial Group does. One of our team of advisors would meet with you. Typically now it's over the phone or over a video call where we're going over your situation, where you are now. We call that your unique financial fingerprint. So Jeff was talking a little bit about life insurance and about the tax-free benefits of life insurance. Generally, our rules, if you're going to use life insurance for retirement income, is you need 15 to 20 years to let that policy grow, to make it the most efficient and the best use of your money. If you do not have that kind of time, we're not sure if life insurance is the best vehicle to grow cash value for your retirement years when it's less than 15 years. Because In life insurance, you buy death benefit. There's a lot of cost inside. Then you got to actually have time for that money to grow to get past all the fundamental cost. But life insurance itself, you put your money into it, and then there's a way to withdraw your original cost basis and to even borrow against your current life policy in retirement to create tax-free income. The main topic of today's show is Roth and Roth conversions, Roth IRAs, and why you need to consider that to be part of your portfolio, no matter what level of income you have. So if you are a multimillionaire and have all your money through your company plans, we think that a backdoor Roth IRA is a very viable option for you. And that's where you're able to put money for tax non-deductible IRAs, and we switch it into a Roth IRA over time. We also think that a conversion is something that should be done for someone who might have $2, $4, $6 million in that retirement account. It's very good to create buckets of money. In some cases that we've seen where we know we're going to be at the highest bracket for the rest of our life, we know these brackets are low. If we have a lot of cash, won't we go ahead and convert? Pay the tax now on some of that money and build a plan for that tax-free money for you and your heirs. There's lots of great legacy planning ideas when it comes to Roth IRAs and what's out there. What's your thoughts on Roth IRAs, Jeff?
So one of the great things about a Roth IRA is that it's tax-free for you, but when you pass away, it's also tax-free for your beneficiary. So that might be your spouse, or when they pass away, it's tax-free to your contingent beneficiaries, which might be your kids. So it's a great way to leave a legacy behind where your children, potentially even your grandchildren, have tax-free income in your name coming to them. So it's a great legacy builder as well as a great way to plan for your future. And by having tax-free income, that means if taxes increase, which we think there's a good chance that they will down the road, then that won't hurt your income that's coming from the Roth IRA because it's tax-free. So we like the Roth IRA. We like the idea of getting some money into it. When you're converting to a Roth IRA, you do have to have some cash outside of that IRA, outside of those retirement accounts, in order to make that conversion work, because you have to pay the taxes when you do the conversion. But I like the idea of paying taxes now at a known rate that's historically low, when we also know that in 2026 at least, the current tax law expires and the tax rates are going to go back up at a minimum, and they might even go up more than that depending on what gets passed in Congress.
Yeah, so when we get to retirement, what happens is we look at the idea of, taxes will be lower in retirement. And the reality is that has not been the answer for everyone. And what I mean by that is, do you want to lower your standard of living for your retirement years? Do you want to lower your standard of living? So, standard of living means whatever I'm pulling out for income and living on, I normally pay tax on all that. The only way to pay less and less tax is to make less and less money. So these decisions that we make today, so we make decisions on tax deducting smaller amounts today, we're going to be paying tax on larger amounts in our future. If you think about it, years ago, pensions were the dominant way of creating retirement. In about 83, the ERISA Act changed it to where people are putting money in, your company matches, and it's created where we are funding our retirement. There's employer matches going on there. And then we think about now retirement is Social Security, then you add in retirement savings. We're recommending this. The only one responsible for your retirement is always going to be you, always going to be yourself. You need to look at where you are financially, see if you can pay taxes at your current rate, knowing that in the future you're going to pay more and more taxes at a higher rate. If we do Roth IRA contributions, Roth conversions now, we are creating tax-free for you to live off of when you need it most, in your retirement years. There are some fears over Social Security and the ability for it to maintain the level that it's paying throughout retirement, or will they reduce it for younger people? A lot of concerns out there, And we think saving for yourself and making that inside of a Roth IRA could be a very big decision that you make right now.
Right. Having money inside a Roth IRA, again, it's tax-free income, and you just can't beat tax-free income. When we talk to folks about how should we save for retirement, well, when you're working, if you have an employer-sponsored plan where you put in money and they contribute to it, then we want you to contribute to that plan. We want to maximize that match. But the next thing on our list is maximize the Roth IRA. So we like free money, then we like tax-free money, and then after you've maximized that Roth IRA, then we go back to the employer plan and maybe put some more money in it on a tax-deferred basis. So that's our kind of our third preference, if you will. Now that's a rule of thumb. We need to look at each specific situation to determine what we want to do and make actual recommendations for you, but that's just kind of a rule of thumb that we like to follow.
All right, so our question of the day is this. What you must do now to create tax-free income for you in your retirement? The first component is knowing your exact situation where you are now, tax rates, income, what you're doing investment-wise, picking out and looking at your IRA and trying to decide what to do, and does a Roth IRA fit you? What other advice would you say that they need to do right now, Jeff?
So right now we need to take a look at those taxes and take a look at what your goals are going to be to the future, taking into account your age and when you're going to need to start taking income from retirement accounts.
Absolutely. So this show has been about what you must do now to create tax-free income for you and your family. Our answer is consider a Roth conversion, where you take money out of a pre-tax IRA or retirement fund, pay tax now, you shift the money over, you're moving stocks over or buying stocks at the low and watching them grow tax-free over the next few years to create tax-free income for you and your family down the road. Now, these are all part of major financial decisions. In retirement, you don't really want to have the worries about where that next check will come from. We want you to have as less stress as possible in your retirement years. We recommend you call up the team of advisors here at Acres Financial Group so that in the future you'll know where that check's coming from and you'll know you're paying the proper amount of tax. Once you give us a call at 833-WIN-RETIRE, that's 833-WIN-RETIRE, and when you call, you leave a message and we get back to you as soon as possible. You can start planning now by calling 833-946-7384 or acresfinancial.com. Hey, thanks, Jeff, very much. Thank you out there for listening. I'm Brian Akers from Akers Financial Group, and we want you to be winning in retirement.
The preceding was a paid program, and the views expressed on this show do not represent the views of WJZ-FM, Entercom Communications, its sponsors, or affiliates.
Knowledge is power. How much better would life be if you had the power to provide a financial umbrella for your family, protect your estate, retire without any lifestyle compromise? Obtaining this kind of knowledge is as easy as making a call to Acres Financial Group. Acres Financial provides comprehensive, innovative, and personalized wealth management services. Call us at 833-WIN-RETIRE. That's 833-946-7384. Or visit our website at acresfinancial.com. Member FINRA SIPC.
Are there times in some games you wish you could just turn on the TV at the 2-minute warning? Because that's the most important part of the game, right? As a fan, these are the most exciting moments. Your team could take home the victory or crumble under pressure. But when it comes to your retirement, don't wait until the last 2 minutes. So much can happen in the final working years before retirement. Whether you're in your 50s or 60s, near or already in retirement, there's still time to put a plan in place. Don't wait until right before you retire to begin planning for your future. Can you win the retirement game like that? Come in and talk with the team at Acres Financial Group. They've been helping families in Maryland plan for retirement for over 30 years. Call to schedule your complimentary meeting at 833-WIN-RETIRE. The number again is 833-WIN-RETIRE. Start planning for your retirement now. Call 833-946-7384. Member FINRA SIPC. Imagine you're retired. You wake up in the morning and you don't even know what day it is. Every day seems like a Saturday. You can sleep in, cook a nice full breakfast without thinking about morning traffic or work deadlines. The Saturday calmness you used to crave is now your everyday feeling. You're not worried about your retirement income or how your investments are doing. Your biggest decision that day is where you're going to drink that first cup of coffee. Is that the kind of retirement you want? If it is, then sit down and talk with the team at Acres Financial Group. They want to help you get there. They've been helping families in Maryland plan for retirement for over 30 years. Call to schedule your complimentary meeting at 833-WIN-RETIRE. The number again is 833-WIN-RETIRE. Start planning for your retirement now. Call 833-946-7384. Member FINRA SIPC.
Broadcasting from the Thompson Creek Window Company studios, the one window replacement company that does it all. This is WJZ-FM, HD1 Catonsville, Baltimore. 105.7, The Fan, a radio.com sports station.